Hello everyone. Today we are going to be finishing up our time lessons. The beginning of the week we learned what an analog and a digital clock is. We learned how to read hours on an analog and digital clock. We learned how to read half hours on an analog and digital clock, and now we are going to be learning the difference between AM and PM. So before we get started, let's say our I can statement. So I can identify AM and PM. So AM is before noon. So when you first wake up, and let's say you wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning, and it still hasn't reached 12 o'clock yet, then that's AM. But once it hits 12 o'clock in the afternoon, that is when it turns to PM. So we are going to read our favorite book ever that we've been reading the whole week. And whenever I'm reading this, I want you guys to pay attention of the certain times that Mr. Wolf is doing certain things. And is it AM or PM? AM is in the morning and PM is in the afternoon, okay? So let's go read our favorite book. Today we will be reading What's the Time, Mr. Wolf by Amanda Enright. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 7 o'clock. Boing! It's time to get up. Mr. Wolf springs out of bed. What should I wear today? He wonders, pulling all his clothes out of the wardrobe. I know! I'm going to be a superhero! Mr. Wolf puts on his bright red cape and sparkly super goggles. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 8 o'clock. Mr. Wolf is hungry and his tummy is rumbling very loudly. Gurgle. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 9 o'clock. A superhero's teeth are always sparkly and clean, says Mr. Wolf. Squeech! Oops! Mr. Wolf steps on the toothpaste tube and the toothpaste squirts everywhere. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 10 o'clock. A superhero needs a super fast bike. Thanks, Mr. Wolf. Off he goes. Zoom! He waves to the three little pigs. Hi, little pigs. See you this afternoon, he calls. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 11 o'clock. Mr. Wolf passes by Kitty's house. Poor Kitty is stuck in the apple tree. Help! Hold on, Kitty, I'll save you, shouts Mr. Wolf. A superhero always comes to the rescue. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 12 o'clock. All his superhero work is making me super hungry, says Mr. Wolf. I think it's time for a little snack. Mr. Wolf buys a snack, but it's not little at all. In fact, it's enormous. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 11 o'clock. After a rest, Mr. Wolf is feeling super again. I think I'll go for a swim, he says. Superhero always needs to keep fit. On the diving board, Mr. Wolf goes boing, boing, boing and dives in with a huge splash. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 2 o'clock. It's time for a game of football in the park. I'll use my super strength, shouts Mr. Wolf. He kicks the ball really, really hard and scores. Goal! What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 3 o'clock. Mr. Wolf visits the three little pigs. They are building a new house. Bing, clatter, bing. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 4 o'clock. When the house is finished, the pigs make Mr. Wolf a giant cup of hot chocolate with extra marshmallows. A good superhero should always have a reward, says the littlest pig. Mr. Wolf loves hot chocolate. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 5 o'clock. It's dinner time, and the three little pigs have come round to Mr. Wolf's house for a delicious feast. Munch. It's hungry work, being a superhero. Yum, yum, says Mr. Wolf. Slurp. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 6 o'clock. Mr. Wolf has had a wonderful day being a superhero, and now he is feeling quite tired. He tucks himself into bed with a special bedtime story. A superhero always needs a good night's sleep, he says with a big yawn. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Zzz. Shh. Good night, Mr. Wolf. Now that we read our book, can someone tell me what Mr. Wolf is doing during the AM? He's waking up. He's brushing his teeth. Right? Now, can you tell me what he's doing during the PM? One of the things he's doing in the PM is that's when he goes to sleep for bedtime. He eats his delicious feast with the three pigs, and he plays soccer. So now we're going to do a little bit of a review, and then we'll get into more of AM and PM. So a little review. Remember when we are looking at an analog clock, the small hand represents the hour hand, and the long hand represents the minute hand. And if the minute hand's at the 12, we know that it's an hour, and we say o'clock at the end. So this is 9 o'clock. And we know if the minute hand is at the 6, that's half hour, which is 30, right? So this time, and we know that the hour hand will be in between two numbers, but if it hasn't passed the 2, it's going to be the 1. So it's 1:30. And on a digital clock, we know that the first number that goes into the first spot is the hours, and then after the 2 dots is the minutes. And we know that if it's o'clock, if it's an hour, we add 2 zeros for the minutes. And if it's a half hour, then we add 30 minutes. So now we are going to do a little review. Hello everyone, we are going to do a little review. So there is, on the left hand side, there is analog clocks with times. Our goal is to match the digital clock to the right analog clock. So what you guys did yesterday for your assignment or assessment, how you had to cut out the analog time and paste it to the correct digital time, well, now we're going to do the opposite. So the first one, the minute hand is on the 12 and the hour hand's at the 10. Well, we know if the minute hand's on the 10 or the 12, it's an hour. So we know that for a digital clock, there's going to be 2 zeros at the end. Now, when we look at the hour hand, we know that it's on the 10. So it is 10 o'clock. That one goes to that one. Next, the middle clock, analog clock. Oh, we know the minute hand's at the 6, and that's half hour. And we know half hour is 30 minutes. And we know that when it's 30 minutes, a half hour, the hour hand's going to be in between two numbers. And in this case, the hour hand has not passed the 1 yet, so it's going to be 12. So we know that the minute's 60, or the minute is 30 because it's half hour. And the hour hand is in between the 12 and the 1, but it hasn't passed the 1 yet, so it is 12. So the time for analog clock or the digital clock is 12:30. Last one for this slide. We know the minute hand is at the 12 and the hour hand's at the 6. We know if the minute hand's on the 12, it's going to be an hour. And for the digital clock, if it's an hour, we're going to add 2 zeros in the minutes. And the hour hand is facing the 6, so it will be 6 o'clock. Good job, guys. Next one. Now we're going to do the opposite. Now we're going to be doing what we did yesterday. We're going to be putting the analog clock times to the correct digital clock times. So, We know for the first one up top, we know that the digital clock, the first number is the hour and the second number is, after the two dots, is the minutes. So we'll read this as, sorry guys, this is the wrong one. We're right here. So for this one, we know that if there's 2 zeros at the end, we know that it's an hour. And if it's an hour, the minute hand's going to be at the 12. And we know the first number before the two dots is the hour, and it says 6. So it's 6 o'clock. Now we need to find the analog clock that has the minute hand at the 12 and the hour hand at the 6. Next one. Oh, we know if the minute's 30, it's going to be half hour, which is going to be on the 6. And in the hour spot, it's a 3, so it is 3:30. Now we need to find the analog clock that has the minute hand facing the 6, and we know that when it's half an hour, the hour hand's going to be in between two numbers, so we need to find the one that's in between the 3 and the 4, right here. Last one. 12, oh, we know that the 30 is half hour, so the minute hand is going to be on the 6. And we know that the first spot in the digital clock is the hour, so the hour is 12. So we need to find the analog clock that has the minute hand at 30 minutes, which is the 6, and the hour hand in between 12 and 1. Right here. 12:30. Awesome job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now we are going to be matching AM and PM. Remember, AM is before noon and PM is after noon. So, the first one is, I wake up for school. Do you wake up after noon? After 12? During the day? No. So it can't be PM, so it has to be AM. Next one, the sun rises. So this means when you wake up and you see the sun rising, this has to be in the AM if you see this when you wake up. Next one, I say good night. Well, if you wake up for school in the AM, you would have to go to bed in the PM because it's after 12, afternoon. Next one, I get dressed. Well, we know that if you wake up for school in the AM, well, you need to get dressed. So you're getting dressed in the AM before school. Next one, I eat breakfast. You guys eat breakfast before you go to school and after you get dressed, probably. So I think this will be in the AM. Next one, I eat dinner. If we eat breakfast in the AM, then we would have to eat dinner in the PM. Next one, I put on my pajamas. Well, if you go to bed, if you say goodnight during PM, you would have to have your PJs on, right? So that would be AM or PM. Last one, the sun sets. If the sun rises in the AM, then the sunset has to be in the PM. Awesome job. You guys did so awesome with the review and matching AM and PM. I'm so proud of you. Now we're going to continue doing more AM and PM matching. So I have pictures that you will need to decide if it's AM or PM. Now remember, the ones that we did on Google Slides. Remember that whenever we do these pictures. Remember, AM is before noon, and PM is after noon, after 12 o'clock. Okay? So the first one is this picture. Looks like they're having dinner. Would dinner be in the morning? No. Would it be in the PM? Yes. Good job. So you eat dinner during the afternoon or evening, and that is PM. The next one. It looks like he is eating breakfast. He has bananas, and it looks like he's eating cereal, and has oranges. Well, if you eat dinner in the PM, you'll have to eat breakfast in the AM, right? Before you go to school, when you first wake up, you eat breakfast when the sun's still rising. Next one. Oh, it looks like she's sleeping. She's ready for bedtime. She's not waking up, so it can't be in the AM because that's when you wake up for school, right? So I think it's PM because after dinner, you probably get ready for bed. More than likely. Now, last one. Oh, it looks like he's waking up. It's bright. If you go to bed in the PM and you have to wake up before you eat your breakfast, I think this picture belongs in the AM. So we wake up in the AM, we eat breakfast in the AM, we eat dinner in the PM, and we go to bed in the PM. Good job. Now, I want you to create a Flipgrid. I already posted an example video for you guys to see how to do it. You guys need to create a video of you telling me something you enjoy doing throughout the day. And you have to tell me, is it AM or PM? You also have to use your handy dandy clock that you made and show me the time that you do your special favorite thing that you do. Okay? And then post that on Flipgrid. And like I said, I made an example video for you guys to watch to see what you guys need to do. You guys did so awesome today. You guys worked hard. You guys worked hard all week learning about time, analog and digital clock. So, that is all. So let's say our I can statement one more time. I can identify AM and PM. You think we did that today? I think so. We read Mr. Wolf. We talked about what he did throughout the day and if it was AM or PM. We also did matching with words instead of pictures, and we also matched with pictures. Awesome jobs. Now, after you guys complete your Flipgrid, you guys will be completing the post-assessment as well. Okay? So try your best, and I'm so proud of you. Bye!